Hey there, Chubs listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode of Chubs Gone Wild. This one is episode 412, recorded on September 20th, 2021. Where are our flying cars and all that stuff? I still want to know.
Well, Lost in Space was they took off to Alpha Centauri in 1996.
Wow. And they're still lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But where's the moon bases and all that we were promised? Anyway, all right.
We have the astronauts, the civilian astronauts that went up to space for 3 days.
Well, that's true. We're making some progress.
So that's something.
Yeah. But it is currently going to be 90 degrees outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios today. And it's only supposed to get down to 70 tonight. What's that about? Anyway.
Looking into it.
Okay. Yeah, double check, because my thing said it was supposed to get to 90 today and then 70 tonight. And I'm like, that seems awful warm.
Mine says 57.
Oh, that sounds so much better. So much better.
Tomorrow's 95, 57, then 90, 61, 95, 55, and then 84, 81, 82, 82.
82, 82.
For afternoon.
I'm good. I'm good with it. If we're not in the hundreds or high 90s, I mean, it's lovely. Just lovely. It is currently 41 days till Halloween, 96 until Christmas, 14 until Thanksgiving in Canada, 66 until American Thanksgiving, and 104, just 104 days until season 2 of Call Me Cat. Yeah.
I couldn't believe all the nominations they got for the Emmys.
I know, wasn't that wonderful?
They got none.
I know. I would actually have been like so surprised if they had, because that season 1 was rough getting going. It just really was. But I'm looking forward to season 2. It's gonna be so much better, especially if they have Cheyenne Jackson shirtless a lot. That's fun. Anyway, so tomorrow begins Mabon, our fabulous celebration where the fall, the equinox, all that, whatever, not equinox, but that shit happens. So it's going to be autumn soon. Yay!
It is the fall. Fall is the equinox. So
it is good.
And that's this Wednesday, the 22nd. I'm just telling you.
Beautiful. No, it is. But I'm saying Mabon, the celebration of Mabon, goes from the 21st to the 29th, I think. So it's long. I don't know what they would do during all that time, but whatever. But yes, the 22nd.
Aren't you supposed to burn leaves and dance around pumpkin patches?
Yeah, but you'd think you could do that within 3 days, and then you'd be like, oh, I'm kind of done with that.
Well, it's like the Day of the Dead. That's only one day, and then they, your loved ones come back for one day, and you send them back right away. You think you can at least give them a little extended vacay.
Right, exactly. I mean, that I could understand having a week.
Right.
No. But we have some other fabulous holidays that happened today that we want to talk about, including National Fried Rice Day. That sounds wonderful.
I'll make some for dinner tonight.
Yeah, Lawrence makes the most amazing fried rice.
Oh, I've heard.
Yes, it's really good. Also, today is National Gibberish Day and National Pepperoni Pizza Day, which I celebrated early, 3 days ago. It was really good, too. I ordered from Round Table, and even though they're a little pricey, in my opinion, they have really good pizza.
Well, sure, they have really good pizza because they're pricey.
Well, that's not true. Pizza Hut out here used to have really good pizza, but now they're really expensive and their pizza is crap.
That's why you go to Domino's.
I haven't been. I will have to try to give them a try because I have not been to Domino's or ordered from them in a long time.
And remember, order the when you get two for $5.99 a piece, that kind of.
What? Oh, that sounds lovely.
Well, they're medium-sized pizzas, but that's still a good size.
Oh yeah,
because I know that with like Pizza Hut and with Domino's, you have to look for the deals.
yes, yeah.
Because they're okay. I'm cycling again. Okay, fucking Xfinity.
I'm sure that we'll just be recording fine. No,
I'm checking right now. What's my speed? I was at 580. Remember that just a minute ago.
Yes, I do.
Now I'm at. Well, it started at 300, and now I'm down to 430, and I got up as high as 600 at one point.
Wow.
In the seconds that I did this. It's just like this. It's like this.
Well, I'm sure they'll tell you it's the wiring, but
it is. Check behind and make sure all your plugs are in right.
Yeah,
because you have so many pets going back and pulling out wires.
Yeah. I just their service. Anyway, we get through all that. Speaking of the pepperoni pizza, but I know what you mean, because whenever we would get the Pizza Hut, I would just start ordering the mediums, because at least they'd be cooked all the way through, to where the larges were never cooked in the middle. So, but anyway, pizza aside, it's also National Punch Day. Ooh.
Is that hit or drink?
That's what I'm wondering. That's interesting.
Because that's my kind of day. I can do both.
Yeah. There's some people I'd punch and then say, oh, I'm just celebrating the day. But it's also National String Cheese Day, because we needed that. I'm lactose intolerant. Fuck off.
Oh, it's just mozzarella cheese.
I love mozzarella cheese. Swiss cheese and mozzarella cheese are my favorite cheeses in the whole world.
See, I'm not a big. Well, I mean, Swiss is fine, but not. If I'm going to eat cheese, it's probably only going to be mozzarella.
Which is, I used to really love getting like the balls of mozzarella cheese at the store and just slicing some off and just eating it through the day.
Oh, you ate it just you just picked it up and ate it like an apple. I know you.
Oh, man, there was probably one or two that I started doing that with, but you get halfway through and then you're like, I'm a little cheesed out. I'm cheesed off. I know. Anyway, today's affirmation. I give love to all the animals that come into my life. They are gifts from the universe. I don't know about all, but most. Anyway, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we would like to thank our amazing current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, TJ Starsage from the Universe, Timothy, Eric, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Moose P, and Sean. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you would like to become a patron for as little as $1 a month, please visit patreon.com/MattBurlingame. And that's Matt with 2 T's. All right, we do have some amazing birthdays coming up somewhere. I know they are. They're coming up. I'm coming up. Today we celebrate the birthday of Ron. Happy birthday, Ron. Also, coming up, we did those. Nico, that amazing Nico, who we met at Pride 48, I believe. His birthday is coming up. Also, Megan, Ginny, Jen, Rhonda. We got Patrick, Charles, Donald, Penny, Ed. Oh, we know Ed from the Bears.
I just saw him this weekend.
Oh, really? How much of them did you see?
All I wanted to see.
Okay. Also, we got Rachel, the godmother of the Sacramento gay community, Marge Cavino. Her birthday is coming up. Also, Bo, and that's it. So happy birthday to all of you. Hope it's wonderful. Hope it's gay. What else we got here? We did get a little bit of feedback. Sean wrote in and said, those little sweet commercials for Diet Dr. Pepper are hilarious.
And you know who plays that, right?
No.
Justin Guarino from Kelly Clarkson's American Idol year.
Okay. See, I just need to go over to YouTube and check them out.
Well, and it's funny because we just watched that Wicked concert and he was the host.
And I didn't even recognize him.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, what is Justin Guarino doing here? And then he said, well, for those of us who've been lucky enough to be in the show, so I figured he must have been Fiyero.
Oh, and whoever they had in that playing Fiyero or singing the song from Fiyero, I was not impressed with. I was like, you could have gotten someone better.
I liked his voice. I just didn't like his dancing through life.
Yeah. It was just not good to me, in my opinion. Anyway,
you know what I found myself singing more than anything, because all they did was sing all the show tunes from the show. So I ended up, I can't get When I Meet the Wizard out of my head.
Oh, that's a good song. Yeah,
and it's, I was singing it right before we started recording.
Well, and here I am. I am the wizard. The one that got stuck in my head lately is No Good Deed Goes Unpunished.
Well, that was one that always, it's just because I had not heard that phrase before.
Really?
Before that. And so I really thought about that. And it's like, it's so true. Somebody's going to take a shit on anything you do that you think you're doing good. Someone will take a shit on it.
Yeah, and that's the way it has felt for the last month or so. It's like every time I do something for someone, go out of my way for something, it ends up like having been just shit on, and I like, fuck y'all then. But anyway, a little bitter for you. Chub hugs. It's time for Chub hugs, and I would like to send Chub hug out to Jed, whose pup passed this last week, and this is only a couple months after his last one did as well. So he and his husband are feeling quite a bit of loss. And also, Chub hugs out to my mother, who is home and currently strolling past the door. So anyway, do you have any hugs that you would like to send out?
I know they're free. But
any wet naked bears, maybe?
Well, okay. How about I'd like to send out a Chub hug to RuPaul, who became the most Emmy'd Black performer in history.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was
awesome.
Well, it's weird because the Emmys are already getting complaints that they weren't Black enough. But then, really, are you going to compare The Crown with Lovecraft Country? Come on, seriously. I mean, and I didn't see I May Destroy You, but Wanda didn't get any love. WandaVision, either did The Mandalorian. Was up for as many awards as The Crown. So where's their love? I know that both of them won quite a few, like cinematographies and costume designs and special effects, that kind of stuff. But it's unfortunate. I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate, whatever. But the Emmys tend to go for solid kind of shows. They, traditional shows like The Crown.
Yeah,
it was The Crown. Mandalorian, The Boys, Lovecraft Country. I mean, traditional Emmy voters aren't going to vote for The Boys to win best dramatic series.
True.
And the thing is, it's just that they're getting watched is important.
Right. And they still seem to have a kind of a prejudice against sci-fi and fantasy.
Well, I mean, Walking Dead never got a nomination above, I think, like technicals.
Hmm.
I don't think they got any writing or directing or even some of the acting. There were some really good actors on Walking Dead. They never got any love, never, because they'll give them the makeup awards left and right, but no, 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 no. That's not acting, I guess. It's
Hmm.
like how the Oscars never give anything really to comedies, and when they do, it's like, wow, they gave it to a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and congratulations to RuPaul, who, wow, she is just, I mean, I still remember the first time when I got one of her music discs and 100 years ago, and I was so excited to get it, and I showed it to somebody I was with, and they said what a hot chick she was, and then I'm like, dude, no. And blew their mind, and now RuPaul is a fucking cultural icon all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I mean, she's really changed the way between her and Ryan Murphy.
Yes.
They have quite literally changed the way television's looked at. As far as LGBT people,
Yes.
especially.
I mean, I love the fact that if I feel like I want to watch something queer or queer oriented, queer friendly, I have choices now.
Oh yeah, look, this year Pose was up for best drama.
Mhm.
You had Evan Peters won for best supporting actor in a limited series for Mayor of Easttown,
Mhm.
but he wouldn't have gotten that job had it not been for the mayor of Netflix, Ryan Murphy, making him a star.
Yeah.
So you just look at so many of these people that were up there at the Emmys, and you can track a lot back to Ryan Murphy and RuPaul as far as the reality. I mean, to come in a drag show has consistently won that award for reality show. I think it's 6 years now, 7 years in a row.
Wow. That's amazing.
And her winning the host along with it. So
Yeah.
it's good times.
Yep. And
You won't
so
see
many,
that same love at the Oscars, I guarantee you.
right. But also so many openly gay actors and performers and trans performers that you can just
Right.
go to your streaming service and be like, you know what, I feel like watching this, and there it is. And not like even 10 years ago when we had to find the obscure movie thing that might be
Yeah,
buried somewhere
our
and
hope,
pay way too much for it, and
our hope that
it was
Blockbuster
good.
was going to have them in, or Tower would have it.
Yeah.
Well, not at this store. You can go to the one downtown. They usually have those kind of movies, and it's like
Yeah.
it's not a porno. It's just a goddamn movie with two male performers in it,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and now it's also stars. It's not. I mean, Ewan McGregor won last night for Halston.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I guarantee you that 20 years ago, nobody would want to play that.
Mm-mm. No. So it really is
Yeah.
amazing. So, all right. Well, next up, speaking of someone else who is, we've got current topics, but speaking of someone else who is, I mean, just fucking trailblazing for the queer
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Nas X, and his new music video is more explicitly gay than anything else he's done. Montero is here, and the internet is living for it. And I will say that even though his music isn't something that I necessarily would listen to all the time, and his videos are, for the most part, I mean, really well done. I'm just loving everything that he does, and the fact that he's up there and he's doing it, and he's not taking any shit, and he's being real, and he's another one. He's a trailblazer, and he's a man of color doing it too. I mean, just I'm so into him.
Well, yeah. And what I love about him is that he's being as gay as he possibly can with
Mhm.
absolutely no fucks given.
Exactly, and I love it. I love seeing it. He's everything that I wished I could have been at that age. So, also, sore loser Caitlyn Jenner, well, angrily lashes out at California voters after getting 1% in the recall election. The recall of California Governor Gavin Newsom was defeated, of course, and voters overwhelmingly agreed on one thing. They don't want Caitlyn Jenner to run the state. Well, Professor wins back a job in historic victory after she was fired for being transgender. Dr. Rachel Tudor has been fighting for a decade since she was fired because of an administrator's religious beliefs. Now she'll be the first tenured Native American professor in her department's history. Yay. Also, out icon Stephen Sondheim reveals plans for a new musical at age 91. Legendary performer Nathan Lane and Bernadette Peters took part in a recent table reading for his new show, Square One. That's very interesting. And of course, to us theater people, very interesting. I'm curious.
I also mentioned that somebody who's got a new musical coming out in, I think it's March on Broadway, is Barry Manilow.
So, that's right.
It's called Harmony. And so it's like he's probably going, fucking Sondheim, really? Here I come out. But still, of course, table read is far away from Broadway. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. But it's just, I'm just so happy, first of all, to see Broadway back open again.
Yeah.
And that people are getting excited. We're going to get new musicals. We're going to get new plays. It's all good.
Yeah. Speaking of musicals, plays, movies, what do you think about the previews for Dear Evan Hansen? I heard one reviewer who watched it and said, well, there was apparently some music in this, but it pales compared to the absolutely horrific rest of the movie. I've just watched previews. The previews don't look too bad, although I do, question putting what's his name in the lead role. But I mean, if it's good, it's good. I don't know. Any thoughts?
No, I'm planning on seeing it this week. So
cool. I look forward to what you have to say about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, other than that, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Let's see. I had it there and then I didn't. Let's see. This week. Well, first of all, we're back on we're finishing Why Women Kill, and it is so much fun. Season 2, so much fun. It's very funny, and every time there's a new revelation, it just gets messy, funny, kind of. It's like, oh, this person murdered this person, or it's going to murder this person, and this person is getting framed for it, but it was really that person whose daughter is dating the guy trying to figure out who killed the guy. And it's like, oh my God, too much fun. Where the first season was 3 different storylines running all at the same time, which was a little more confusing. Let's see, then Evil this last week, we had, it was all about UFOs. And it was, I mean, I did like the fact that Leland, the character who's been working with the demon, killed the goat demon and ate him on last week's episode. And it was hilarious because he's got his kitchen, there's this big, like a stock pot with a goat leg sticking out of it. Like almost the same size as a human's goat leg. So what are you opening and doing while we're doing the show?
I was opening the package that was delivered just before the show.
Yeah, and because you had to.
Yes, I did actually, because I was trying to find, if since I'm being called out on it, they sent it and there's no, it's broken. They sent it wrong, and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the edge thing. Anyway,
Let's see. Big Brother this week, a second week of double eliminations. So the first two members of the cookout, the
oh
black
right,
team, left, Tiffany and Hannah. So that leaves just four members left. On Thursday, we'll get rid of one more, and then we'll do it'll be the final three. And then the week after that, it's over. So we got 2 weeks left of Big Brother.
okay.
Reservation Dogs was really up and exciting this week because it wasn't. It was just down and depressing.
I was gonna say,
The reservation is so depressing, and then one of the kids kills himself. So it was just like, oh my God, can anybody have a good day there?
apparently not.
Maybe not. So okay. Okay, this is the one I've been excited to talk to you about. Now, with American Horror Story, I told you that it takes place in P-Town,
Mhm.
and it's during the wintertime because these creative people go to P-Town to basically get charged and to write or paint or whatever their talent is.
Mhm.
And what they actually have there is a person that has these pills that if you take the pill, you'll become either the greatest talent of your talent, or you'll turn into these street urchin type creatures who feed off squirrels in the park. Okay. Because you can only take the pill if you're good enough. So, I mean, I'm sure Sondheim's been to P-Town, so he probably
Uh-huh.
because he's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of talent. But if you are, somebody who does, musicals, let's say in their local town, and they're sweet, but they're not great, right?
Mhm.
That was good. And it's just like, it's not about vampires. It's about, are you good enough to take the pill? Because if you are, all your dreams come true. If you're not good enough, then your life is over, basically. So it's almost, it's you live or die. You get all your dreams, or you become a nightmare. So, I mean, would you take the pill?
Me, no.
Yeah, because could you? It's a risk. It's a huge risk.
Yeah, but I'm good enough without it. So
Oh, okay. I guess that's a good way of looking at
yeah.
it. Okay, but anyway, it's because I was looking at it as more, like the weeks before, I was looking at it more of just, these people turning into these creatures.
Right.
And then last week's episode was like, oh, okay, this is, I mean, you could go back to Eve eating the apple.
Mhm.
This is all about the choices you make, and you get what you get by making these choices. So it totally mind fucked me this week.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
That's really interesting.
yeah, but it's if you think of it in that way, it's a really interesting concept for a horror show. Because
Yeah.
what's more frightening is you think, oh, I have a chance to fulfill all my dreams, but if I'm not talented enough, if I'm really a hack, oh, that wouldn't be good, because I don't like eating squirrels in the park. So
Right. Exactly. No, it's
I'm watching Only Murders in the Building. That's the Steve Martin Short, Selena Gomez show. And it gets funnier and funnier. And the characters are so well written and rich, and they're played well. The directions, it's almost a perfect little series. It really is. And having Martin Short and Steve Martin play off each other is, I mean, I could watch that for hours. That's not a problem. This week on The Circle, because every week for 3 weeks they have 4 episodes. So the first week was, you get to meet and get to know a lot of the people, and the second week is more of where we're starting to see fringe and people suspecting other people of lying, that kind of thing. So um, it's been fun. Still, Nick is not taking off his clothes enough. All the other guys are shirtless at some point. Even Daniel, who's got little stringy tank arms, and he's so gay, and but he's shirtless. It's like they're stuck in a room. Take off your shirt, Nick. Okay. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this. High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 3 coming out. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. I started watching The Lost Symbol on Peacock. That's the Da Vinci Code guy. This is his latest in the Da Vinci Codes, where same character that Tom Hanks played, not played by Tom Hanks here. He's off to solve a crime. So that's going on Peacock right now. Now there's another show on Peacock called Frogger with Damon Wayans Jr. as one of the celebrity judges. Basically it's the two characters from Pitch Perfect, who Elizabeth Banks and the other, than the guy, how they would make fun of everybody and they talk through the show. Well, kind of like a Skunk Boy on Wipeout. Remember how they were always there making fun of the contestants and keeping the action moving? Well, that's what Damon Wayans Jr. is doing here with another guy. But this Frogger show is terrible. Oh my God. What was lava? The floor is lava is Gone with the Wind compared to this.
Wow, that's really saying something. And I actually kind of like The Floor is Lava.
Sure.
But
and I'm okay. I'm okay with silly shows like this, but this one's just I don't like it. I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. That's what it is. That's what I'm sticking with.
Okay.
Amazing Vacation Rentals is back on Netflix. This is the one where the 3 young people go around the world finding really cool places. They usually take a theme. Like the first episode was destination weddings. So they were showing places where you could have a big wedding, and they have one that's a budget, one that's luxury, and one that's unique. So like they had one where they were on this island, and basically it's self-sustained island, and your whole party was there. They have bungalows, and you could do whatever you want. You're your own sheriff, basically. You're on an island, and which it only ran like $50,000 a night. So, but anyway, it's really a cool show. They're less than a half hour. They move by really quickly, and the 3 people that are taking the vacations are, they're okay to watch. The guy is, I don't think he's gay, but he comes off super gay, and he's pretty cute, so that helps. Let's see, down my line. Oh, this is a show that you are going to love.
Oh, yeah.
Starting on Fox tonight is a new show called The Big Leap. Now, it's a scripted show, but the storyline is it's a television production that's looking for dancers who missed that opportunity when they were younger, and they're giving them their second chance at being, it's like So You Think You Can Dance, basically. But what they're doing is they're picking up a group of people, 20 people, for a company that's going to, at the end of the season, will be performing Swan Lake. So Scott Foley is the producer director, and then it's a bunch of people that they've auditioned. There's a football player whose career's in the shitter. They've got a girl who got pregnant when she was about ready to go off to a dance academy, just all these people coming together to form this company. I saw the first episode, which is available on Hulu early. Actually, the first 2 episodes are available, and I cannot wait. This is going to be one of my favorite series. I can already tell.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds fun.
It's The Big Leap. It's on Fox, and it's also available on Hulu.
Okay.
And then finally, I saw a new show called Chicago Party Ant, which is on Netflix, new animated series. It sucks. Okay. Other than that, let's see. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any other exciting thing. No, there's nothing. It doesn't matter because your life right now is much more exciting than mine. So why don't you tell us about yours?
Okay. I just saw this weird story pop up here. Huh. I'm gonna just leave that for later. I thought maybe it was something relevant to us right now, but no. Let's move on. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. So thank you for telling us all about that. I did mark down that because that show sounds really, really good. Sounds totally up my alley. And then, okay, so what's going on right now? Well, Mom is home. Mom is home. Mom is outside. She's probably taking a nap right now, but she got home about 11 o'clock. They delivered her to the door. She came right up the stairs really well. We've had a good talk. Everything's doing well, and she's been getting around the house using her walker and being very careful. And she promises that she's going to pay attention and she's going to heal and not overdo it. So I'm very happy that she is home and doing well. She did. So here's the interesting thing. So she and my father ended up being in the same facility for about a week or so. And so she was basically on one side and he was on the other. Of like the same floor. So she would go and visit him and just say hello, whatever. She said that he's doing a little better, that but he's still very kind of like disoriented, but also in the moments that he's doing a little better, he's back to being all bossy and trying to, the first thing that he did when he found out that she was going home is start trying to dictate a list of the things that he wanted us to bring over there for him. Meanwhile, he's can't get out of bed and he can't walk, and so but he's like trying to demand all this stuff. So yeah, that's typically him. They had said that they were going to amputate parts of him, but I have since read his chart and I have not seen any of that. He does, however, have great big sores on the bottom part of both of his big toes, where they removed some calluses and found basically great big wounds there. So that is being treated though, and he's expected to be fine that way. But everything else has just gotten out of whack, and even though they're getting him back under control, it's going to be a long road to recovery. And it again, and I've said this to anybody that will listen, he needs full-time care. And I'm going to be trying to reach out to the VA and see if they can help.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. I forgot that he was a vet.
Yeah.
That's going to be your only possible saving grace here. I just have a feeling that you're going to be, putting him to I was going to say putting him to sleep, but putting him to bed and having to check his feet every night.
Oh yeah, not only that, but I mean, like he can't even walk. he doesn't make enough money for them to actually want him anywhere, so they would be sending him home. And here I'd be dealing with somebody who is not only incoherent but belligerent and can't walk, can't do anything, and having to. I'm just not the I don't have the skills to do that, especially with him and how he is. So he needs full-time care, and so that's what I'm hoping the VA will be able to do something. Now, that doesn't mean that he is going to, because he will lie and anything else he can to get what he wants, and I know what he wants is to be back here, but all he's going to be doing here is the same thing he's going to be doing there, laying in bed and being a jerk. Anyway, but that's kind of the update. The hospital and nurses and everything really were very good. So and mom's home, so yay. Other than that, because that's pretty much been like the bulk of everything that I've been dealing with for, well, a long time, but especially the last 10 days or so, is the two of them. So I've been home alone with Kaya, and let me tell you, it's been very peaceful. It's been very peaceful. I mean, I'm very happy to have mother home, but I could get used to not having the other, stuff going on. And we'll leave it at that. I have been watching, it's time for my annual Charmed Marathon. I am now in season 2. I'm not watching it as diligently as I may have in past years, but that's okay. I don't feel the pressure or need, but I have the episodes that I have been watching, I'm enjoying quite a bit, because I don't feel like the pressure of I have to watch this, I have to finish it. So now I feel like I'm just kind of enjoying the show for the show. And I think that people that badmouth the Shannon Doherty episodes and stuff, maybe they just have it against her because she was kind of hell to work with in real life. But I think that she did a really great job on the show, and I really like her character. Anyway, season 21 and 22 of Amazing Race, kind of boring. More the teams kind of helped each other out a little bit more. Oh, they had a Chippendales team on there, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but especially that one, he's got to be gay. And then I looked it up, and yeah, not only is he gay, but he just got married to some guy from some TV show recently. So anyway,
Don't hate.
What's that?
Don't hate.
Oh no, I don't. I think that they're both really cool people, and I was very glad that my gaydar was not off. But so I don't know. I understand more in some of these seasons, like 21 and 22, why they resorted to bringing on people like Brunchel and shit like that to get people more motivated to care about the teams. But let me tell you, the absolute, I forget the word at the moment, but watching these heterosexual married couples and the men on there, just toxic masculinity, that's the word. I just cannot believe the way these guys are treating these women, and the women are just, oh, you're so mean to me all the time, I hate you, why did you do this to me? And then when they get to like the sit down thing, oh, it's just his way, I know he loves me, and I just couldn't imagine life without him. Meanwhile, when they're on the course and trying to do stuff, he's calling them the dumb bitch, and she's smarter than a donkey and shit like that. And then at the end, she's, oh, it's just his way. Like,
it's just like those 50s
musicals. So what?
The 50s musicals where the guy only beats the girl and she goes, but I love him still.
Yeah. It's it's sick. So, um, okay, I don't know how that got up there. Let's see. Okay, I've watched over the last couple nights. I've watched Halloween Town, Halloween Town 2, Halloween Town High School, or yeah, High School. I was gonna say High School Musical, but it wasn't. Um, and they're fun. They're aimed toward like kids, early, and early teens. They're just fun little movies. They're fine. But the thing that I'm really enjoying is that Debbie Reynolds is in them. And even though the rest of them are like dorky kid type stuff, she just really has this magic that when she's on screen, you're just like, oh, it's Debbie Reynolds, yay! So it's been fun just to see her do that stuff. But I mean, these things are from back in like, I don't know, 98, 2004, 2006, that type of thing.
I love those shows.
The Halloween Towns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. Then I did actually go to the theater and I saw Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It was a little weird to be in the theater again. I think it's been almost 2 years since I've actually been in the theater. But it was also very nice, and it was so nice, and there was hardly anyone in there, and everybody was, wore their masks until they were seated, and they stayed, decent apart and everything. And it was a really fun movie. Yeah, I wanted them to. So you saw it, right?
Yep.
So the sidekick, like the female sidekick with the deep voice,
Aquafina.
oh, I wanted them to make her a lesbian, and it looked at the end like they were trying to make them a couple. And
I
I
didn't
was like,
think so at all.
I hope not. I'm like, please, please do not do that. I want her to. I mean, she was my favorite character in the whole movie, except when he took off his shirt.
Well, it's because Aquafina's character was the only non-magic character in there, so that was us.
Oh, well, yes, yeah, I can totally see that.
So we could relate to her relating to all the situations, because that's how we would be. It's like, oh my God, there's a fucking dragon out here.
Yeah, but I loved her. And I mean, I loved it all. And I loved the fact that it was very female driven, even though he was, supposed to be the main part of it. And he was awesome. But there was so many strong women characters and everything. I thought it was really well done. And I really had a fun time.
So you said the exact same thing I said last week. Okay.
I know, and that's what I was actually watching for. And I mean, you were spot on. It was so nice to see that and see it not, a bunch of traditional women sitting in the background sipping tea while the men go out to fight. It was nice not to see that type of thing. So there's that. And I also got to see the preview for the new Jackass movie, which I did not know there was one coming out, but I'm excited for it. And everybody I thought they're just like, oh, I can't stand those movies. I don't know. I don't like the show, but I thought the movies are fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then the other thing is, so Mr. Ramble Redhead, if you remember a while back, he had sent me an Instant Pot, which I was always very thankful for, and I got to try out a little bit and make some juicy chicken breasts. I had some frozen chicken breasts, and I put them in there, and they did really well. It did really well. Cooked them, and they were all juicy and nice and delicious, and so I was very happy with that. So thank you again, Mr. Ramble, for that. All right. So we want to remind you to be loud, to be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have always been oppressed down into being told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs listeners, you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while over ordering on the fatmarkerclothing.com website. So it's time to jump into advice. And then we have a little news about our advice. But this advice is being asked from Miss Manners. So, dear Miss Manners, I am a 63-year-old woman, and I met a friend, another 63-year-old woman, through a Bible study group 4 years ago. A week ago, we went to a movie theater. She brought out snacks and a drink for herself and proceeded to eat and drink in front of me. I would never have done that. I would have brought her a drink and snacks. I had picked her up and driven to the theater. When we went to the beach last summer, I stopped and bought her a sandwich and snacks as she was driving. What, really? While she was driving? Anyway.
Well, because she drove, she bought her lunch.
Yeah, I guess.
That's exactly what it is.
It just sounds weird. Anyway, pre-pandemic, she and her husband and daughter would go away for vacation, sometimes 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, and I would feed her cat twice a day and water the yard, and she offered me $20 a day, but I declined, saying that friends do not take money from friends. I never was paid for taking care of her cat and yard, but one time she took me out to lunch as a thank you. And one time she gave me a pair of gardening gloves. When her father-in-law passed away less than a year ago, I brought over a pie. I had never met the father-in-law and only had met her husband a few times. So with this long explanation above, my question is, what do you think my friend bringing her own snack to a movie theater and eating in front of me, am I making too much ado about nothing?
Yes.
Ah! How about your friend is a cheap bitch? No.
I didn't take money from her. And then the next sentence is, she never paid me for taking care of her cat. No, look, you know what? If I take snacks to a movie theater, which I never would,
right?
I'm not going to be sharing them with you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you. I'm not bringing your fucking snacks to the goddamn movie. You want snacks? Bring snacks. And I can't believe, whenever I hear people with sodas, they pop the soda open. Oh my God, how tacky. But I don't expect her to go, oh, here's a lukewarm Diet Coke I had in my purse.
That's the thing, is I'm like, okay, you're complaining that she didn't bring you stuff that she's not supposed to have in there too?
Well, and the pie, okay, when somebody dies, you take over an offering, so the family doesn't have to be cooking all the time, because they're supposed to be, basically, the whole idea came about because of sitting Shiva.
Yeah.
Because 7 days you're supposed to sit there and remember the person that dies, so you don't have time to cook or shop or stuff. So people can bring over food that you could eat while you're sitting Shiva. Okay, this woman, the writer, is just an asshole.
Yeah, I think that is just the stupidest thing to.
Is that how you measure your friendship with this woman, by whether or not she's got jujubes for her?
Well, let's see what Miss Manners had to say. Having established, gentle reader, having established that you are a better and more selfless friend, you might want to consider also being the more tolerant friend. As such, you might consider other possibilities for the transgressions, one that do not end with the intentional mistreatment of you. Perhaps your friend was not sharing because she was being mindful of the risk of spreading disease, or she knew she was violating movie theater rules by bringing in outside food and did not wish to incriminate you. Or she somehow misinterpreted your rule about not taking money from friends and thought that it extended to her her hummus platter and lemonade. Okay. um, or she was just being rude. But giving a friend the benefit of the doubt is essential in a close relationship such as yours, as it is not holding on to resentment. Miss Manners humbly suggests that you let yours go. How was the new movie? How was the movie? So, anyway, it's wonderful advice. Miss Manners, go check her out. Speaking of advice, so Mr. Michael Sage sent me a little article that he found over on Gawker. It's entitled "Help! I couldn't stop writing fake Dear Prudence letters that got published." So I read the article, which is whatever. It talks about and lists some of the letters that got published, and we have read at least one of them on the air.
I know. No, I read the article too, and I know that there had been a few, but I remember seriously a lot of times going, this can't even be real.
Yes, both of us said it. It was like, this has got to be fake.
Then again, the thing is that with these advice letters, it would be nice if these people, if there were, somebody was actually writing these, but I think for the most part, they're not. I mean, I think a lot of these people who are writing for advice are, we've got a little, somebody writing on the side that's sending stuff in because, they're boring.
Yeah.
Oh my, the woman who I met at a Bible, church meeting, didn't bring me any candy or hummus, to the theater. It's like, really, this is a fucking letter. This woman is so vacant that she can't figure out she's the one who's got the problem here.
And I've said that about some Miss Manners stuff before too.
Sure,
especially the deal with like newer stuff, like transgender pronouns and stuff like that. I'm like, no, this has to be fake.
Right.
But you know what? I am totally cool with it, with that person with the Dear Prudence letters. I thought it was funny. I go for it. It was interesting. I mean, how we read it. So it's entertainment. And every once in a while, there's some grain of truth or something in it that people do get advice, get educated or advice out of or whatever. So whatever. It's fun. Anyway. But I just thought that was fun. Okay. Hey, Chubs, if you were given a letter of admission to go to Hogwarts, would you?
Absolutely.
I think so.
I've received one.
Oh, well, of course you have.
No, if you go to Disney or to Universal Studios and you can sign up and you give people's addresses and they'll send them a letter from Hogwarts.
That's cool. Was it delivered by owl?
No, it was delivered by mail.
Oh, well, things change.
Yeah.
Well, that's very cool. Very, very cool. I don't know. I would love to, but anyway. Hey, Chubs, do you like roller coasters?
No.
I do. Haven't been on one in decades, but I do.
Yeah, they fucked me up, so I don't like them.
Oh.
It's just physically, I get off them and I feel like I've been hit by a car.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, it's time for our trivia question. And the trivia question is, what is the tallest roller coaster in the world?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, the one in Las Vegas.
Oh, good guess, but no. It is actually the King Dakar. And that is the tallest roller coaster in the world and the fastest roller coaster in North America.
Where is it?
It is Six Flags. I don't know wherever one of the Six Flags is. This upside down U-shaped track goes up 45 stories, 456 feet high. Yeah. See, that's the thing is I like roller coasters, but it goes basically straight up and then straight down.
Yeah, no.
And that doesn't really appeal to me. So, yeah. All right. Well, where are we at here? Okay. Well, it's time to find out what's in our lunchbox. And we have a lot of people tell us what's in their lunchbox this time. Starting with Mr. Michael Sage. Mr. Michael Sage says he sent us some cauliflower soup and a side of veggies. That looks really good. Although cauliflower and soup, interesting. Eggplant roll-ups, sort of, and shopshka salad. Okay, and also a regular veggie burger. So all that is there. He's been trying this like 7-day plan where they send you stuff to cook, and of course Mr. Michael Sage is a vegetarian, and I've been really impressed with some of the stuff that he has been sharing, that he's been preparing. So very cool. But he made it clear that that was not a what's the burger called? Impossible burger, because he says impossible burgers are like really hard to tell like from the difference from meat. But anyway, next up we have Mr. Baron Frosty, who wrote in and said, "Hey Chubs, Tex-Mex sloppy Joe with fries, and my friend got a buffalo chicken salad with lots of blue cheese. Excellent dinner." And those fries look really good actually to me right now.
Oh, no, but look, that's sloppy Joe with cheese. I've never seen sloppy Joe with cheese.
I haven't either. The bun.
The bun it looks like a brioche bun.
Mm-hmm. And it just looks look at that grill mark on the bottom. It just
yeah, and the fries look really crispy.
Yeah.
But the I don't like the buffalo chicken.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really had buffalo chicken. Well, I'm sure I have, but yeah.
And not a big blue cheese fan, so it's kind of a.
Oh, I am. I love some blue cheese, especially on a really good Cobb salad, a little extra blue cheese. So yeah.
And I was talking, those fries look good too. I was talking about the fries with the sloppy Joe, but the other fries look good. It's just I'm not a ketchup person.
Yeah. I got some Burger King the other day, and they're with fries, and they gave me a ton of ketchup package, and I'm not either.
I did too. I mean, there were like 10 or more ketchup packets in there. It's like Jesus.
It's like one thing of fries.
Because like McDonald's, will go, did you want any sauces, ketchup or anything? No, good. We're good. Because I'm not I like fries.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Totally with you there. What do we got here? This is from Mr. Moose P, who wrote in and said, "Don't know if y'all get these out west, but the perfect late summer appetizer is a plate of fried green tomatoes. Tomatoes are not quite ripe, are sliced and dipped in egg wash. Next, they are breaded and seasoned with cornmeal and fried in a hot cast iron skillet. Yields a crunch with just a bit of bite." I have not had fried green tomatoes in a long, long time, but I remember them just being absolutely yummy.
Well, how bad can they be? You don't really taste the tomato, but because they're green, they hold up really well.
Yeah.
And they're not really juicy. So it stays crispy, it's salty. It's, I've had these since I was a kid. And actually I've had less lately than I did when I was younger. And they just keep getting more popular. Yeah. They're good. I love them.
Have you had I'm sure you have a pickled tomato?
I'm not a big pickle fan.
Yeah. Um, sorry. Um, but they had, I remember getting a jar of like, I don't know, Vlasic or something like that, had like these little green tomatoes, and they were pickled, and they were
Right.
so good. But I had never, after the one time, I never found them again. So
Did they prick the tomatoes?
did they what?
Prick them?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also, Mr. Moose says he stopped into a diner for a burger with cheeseburger and fries. Yay. And that looks really good. Even the salad next to it looks interesting. Oh, Chris Cut. That's what they call that, Chris Cut, right? Fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good. Cool. Thank you so much, Mr. Moose. And then we have Mr. Phoenix Dave, who wrote in and said, hi guys. Hey guys, I came home from work Friday night and decided to cook hamburger stroganoff. Oh, not stroking off, stroganoff. In the Instant Pot, it was an easy recipe and it's delicious. Egg noodles, hamburger meat, onion, beef stock, flour, and garlic. Takes 15 minutes to prep and 8 minutes to cook. Wow, that's quick.
It's really good.
It looks it. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my mom always
Totally
used to
dig into that.
beef stroganoff, but she would put in pieces of beef, not ground beef. And I always liked it better with the ground beef.
Yeah, same. I remember my grandmother, great grandmother, would make it, and I think she used ground beef mostly too.
Okay.
All right. Well, currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento want you to know that about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. To find out more about Golden Rule Services, visit sacgrs.org. And we thank them very much for being a sponsor of the show. And that brings us to send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment on chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild, where you can see all the amazing lunchbox photos. And you can even find the link to watch our video of this show. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurleyGame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books over at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at BigGaySexShow.com. And watch the videos of this show over at youtube.com/c/Matthew Burlingame. And don't forget that there's something else that you can do. You can, give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes, Queen.
And you can always search YouTube just for Chubs Gone Wild. That'll bring it up right too.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. I should try to get a direct link for us so it's more intuitive.
Well, and I'll tell you, one of our listeners had told me about the YouTube videos, the scary ones. They're terrifying. They're terrifying. First of all, I get like 5 or 6 scary videos in 4 or 5 minutes instead of an hour-long show where they have, we keep seeing it over and over again. I'm sorry. These things are great. They really are, but they are much scarier than watching just paranormal shows.
I bet.
I tell you, I can give you a couple to watch and you won't sleep that night.
No, I don't need that. I don't need help with that. My imagination is enough to get me going. I don't need to see shit. But y'all indulge, and it's great that they're there for you. But all right, well,
don't I look like Timmy Sims right now?
Yes. The only thing you need is 2 fuzzy things on each side of you.
Yes.
Sweet little babies. Oh, and I'll tell you, our sweet little monster, Kaya, is so happy to have mom back. She did not know what to do with herself. So
That's okay. Either did you.
I was so happy to just have that, like, one thing that I don't. Well, now I have to kind of like listen to make sure in case she needs help or anything, but it's just nice not to have to worry about that. It's like that's here and we can deal with that. But depending drama with the other one, that's still a worry. But anyway, we thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any feedback or anything, please drop us a line. Let us know. We love hearing from you, but we'd love to hear from you with some stuff for the show as well. All right. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
No,
Bye.
no, there we go.